Political Analyst Ralph Mathekga. Ralph, good afternoon to you. Vavi's accuser apparently now withdrawing this complaint. What on earth's going on?
This is getting even more complex, Andrew, because this issue is not just about the relationship that is happening within COSATU. There is also a question of rape, as the allegation has surfaced. And in my view, it is not within the competence of any internal disciplinary processes of an organization to deal with allegations of rape if such kind of an issue emerges. That should be within the police. So when I look at the statement that the complainant has withdrawn the grievances, I don't know exactly what does it mean. Does it mean this is the end of the issue within COSATU? Therefore, it might be taken outside, because we know there is a case of extortion that Mr. Vavi has actually put forward against the complainant. So I'm sitting here thinking about this as to what does it really mean. The main issue here, in my view, seems not to have been resolved. It could be resolved, of course, as far as the internal disciplinary processes are concerned. But the allegations of rape, in my view, are things that are very serious, should be tested outside any internal disciplinary process.
It's pretty telling, though, surely, that this accuser's not laid a criminal charge with the police.
The main question is, what are those conditions? Why has the accuser not come forth and laid criminal charges with the police? Is it because of maybe lack of support from within COSATU, or is it because of the power relations within COSATU? We do not know that. And I think it will be very important for the accuser to come forth and explain to us why has she not laid the criminal charges against Mr. Vavi as per the allegations, as per the complaint. And that cannot be dealt with within the internal disciplinary processes of COSATU. It belongs outside. It is not within the competence of COSATU's internal disciplinary process to ascertain the validity of such kind of a claim. And it does not necessarily mean that Mr. Vavi has to be brought to book, but even the mere allegations as they've come up against through the complainant, they need to be tested. Probably the case of extortion will give us more details about that, because the complainant will therefore have to answer to those charges.
He's had a torrid time of it, Vavi, over the past few months. I mean, first allegations of financial impropriety, now this. Do you think it's all a bit of payback for his anti-Zuma stance?
It's been an uphill for him. This case is coming up, allegations being leveled against him in a sustained way. But I also think that there is a question of judgment. His judgment also comes into question. He works in a political space. He operates in a political space. And I don't think he should be overly surprised about this kind of allegations or this kind of a campaign, as he calls it, coming against him or being launched against him. I think that as a leader who has seen it happening in South Africa, should exercise his judgment carefully, should still show the higher level of integrity. But I still believe that those who support him will stick by him no matter what. But the principle here at play as well is the question of his judgment. I think there needs to be clarity about his judgment and also the position that he continues to occupy as the Secretary General of the Union.
In this story of Zwelinzima Vavi, you can't help wonder what's next.
It's very complex, because we know there is another case of extortion, and the mere fact that the complainant has actually withdrew the grievances does not necessarily mean that they will not therefore exhaust other legal processes that exist outside COSATU. We do not know. There is still a possibility that might happen. And again, we still have to wait for full information as to why did the complainant withdraw those grievances. Is it because of insufficient information? Is it because maybe the complainant thought the charges were not sustainable? Or what could be the reason for that? And I think South Africans deserve an explanation. This is not an issue that should end through only an internal processes. Better communication need to be carried out. South Africans would like, I think, to know more details about that, so that they can decide upon themselves if they should continue trusting Mr. Vavi, or what judgment they should cast upon his integrity.
The ANC distancing itself from all of this, saying it's an internal COSATU matter. How much of a threat does all of this pose to the Tripartite alliance?
Well, we know that he has been maintaining a strong position, bringing the ANC to account, and his position on the leadership of the ANC is quite clear. It's very critical of Mr. Zuma's leadership. That has been very clear. And within the Tripartite Alliance, we know COSATU has been pushing or pulling mostly towards civil society, unlike other members of the Tripartite Alliance, that is your SACP as well. So he has been able to strike that chord of independence within the Tripartite Alliance, and he has been questioning the political decisions of the ANC. That carries more weight than it is the case when the policies are being questioned by people from outside the Tripartite Alliance. So I think the way in which he has evolved into this space of someone with integrity, someone who argues or stands for accountability, it is something that is quite uncomfortable position for the Tripartite Alliance, and particularly for the ANC.
Ralph, lastly, do you think Vavi's here to stay?
I think it's quite early to call it at this point. The technicalities of the disciplinary processes might be over, but I still think there are still bigger issues about his judgment. This issue comes out of an elaborate scheme involving, as the newspapers reported, hiring someone in an inappropriate manner. Those are things that South Africans and even the workers will have to express their judgment and see whether or not Mr. Vavi still remains as a credible representative of the workers going forward.
Ralph Mathekga, political analyst, always a pleasure talking to you, sir. Thanks for your time. News that moves. eNCA.com.